Organize myself. Good evening, members of the City of Anaheim Planning Commission. Thank you all for taking the time tonight to share with us your thoughts and listen to our presentation on the Eastern Gateway project. My name is Joe Haupt, and I am representing Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, the applicant on this project. And I will also thank the city staff for the overview they gave on the history of the project and what kind of led us up to this point. And so I'd like to start off first of all by saying, big picture, the Eastern Gateway project is a project that's 20 plus years in the making, as Linda alluded to in her presentation. And the project is an important part of Disney's ongoing commitment to deliver a fantastic guest experience for all guests at the Anaheim Resort, and also to consolidate parking on the east side of the resort, which right now lacks a consolidated parking solution like the west side of the resort has in the Mickey and Friends structure. So the consolidation of these parking facilities will also help to contribute to the long-term easing of traffic and congestion on city streets on the east side of the resort. So first of all, I'd like to take a moment to walk you through our project and the three components of it, the three key components of it, which Linda and Elaine briefly touched upon in their presentations. And then I'd like to talk to you about the public outreach process, some of the feedback we've gotten from our neighborhood stakeholders, solutions we proposed, and what we're actively working on right now to improve the project and address some of those concerns. So first of all, the Eastern Gateway project consists of three primary components. First is a parking structure located right here. The second piece is a transportation hub located here, and then a pedestrian connector crossing Harbor Boulevard here with additional pedestrian circulation down here to the south off of Disney Way on the Southern California Edison right-of-way. So first, I'd like to talk a moment about the garage, the first component of the project. So the garage right now is currently contemplated to be approximately 6,900 stalls in 7 stories. As was indicated originally, the garage is designed primarily to handle traffic coming from northbound Interstate 5. Traffic will exit northbound Interstate 5 off of the Disney Way off-ramp on either the HB or the normal travel lanes. Traffic will proceed north along Disney Way through this intersection here, which is being improved, and will enter the garage queuing area through these 2 lanes here to the right of Disney Way on the north edge. Those 2 lanes quickly fan out to 6 lanes and then turn into the garage, where it fans out to approximately 15 to 20 stacking lanes for stacking and queuing before the toll booths. This queuing and stacking here provides over 500 cars of queuing and stacking to assure that there is no chance that we will up out onto Disney Way and further exacerbate the traffic problems. Once vehicles proceed through the toll booths and the queuing, they go up the ramps into the upper level. They are directed into a stall in a speed parking configuration very similar to Mickey and Friends is today. At night, when the exiting time occurs for the park, exiting will be handled through 2 primary means. First is a 2-lane flyover, exits the garage at the southeast corner in a 2-lane flyover at the 3rd level, which crosses this intersection at the corner of Disney Way and Clementine, directs guests onto southbound Disney Way and onto I-5 and on their way. The other exit is on the north here, onto Manchester, where guests can turn south here, or there's 1 lane where they can proceed north with a signal as well. Next component of the project is the transportation hub. So as a guest, once you've parked in the garage here, you will be greeted by a bank of escalators, very similar to what we see today at our Mickey and Friends parking garage. The escalators will proceed down, take you into our transportation area, where guests will proceed through added guest screening portals and then onto the pedestrian connector. Additionally, the transportation hub, all of the current rubber wheel traffic, or shall I say rubber tire traffic, that brings guests to the resorts from the ART shuttle, OCTA buses, local hotel buses, all of those vehicles will now all be collected in this area here. You see these varying turnoffs here. Additionally, taxis, personal vehicle drop-offs, ride-sharing, Uber, Lyft will all be collected here. Guests will get off of the various vehicles, proceed through the screening portals, and on the pedestrian connector and on their way across the street. The bulk of this activity that occurs here in this pedestrian connector presently occurs in the East Esplanade across Harbor Boulevard. The next component of the project is the pedestrian connector. Could you go back one slide, please? Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, once guests are out of their vehicles or out of the garage, they're proceeding through our additional security screening checkpoints here, and they begin their travel across Harbor Boulevard on a pedestrian connector, which is a very gentle grade leading up towards Harbor Boulevard. Next slide, please. Until it ultimately hits Harbor Boulevard, where you cross Harbor Boulevard above grade in a bridge. Once you cross Harbor Boulevard, you come back down to grade and into the East Esplanade, the ticketing facilities, and entry to the park. This pedestrian connector is a critical part of the project because, as was alluded to originally in this presentation, the significant additional number of people being brought to this site resort in this one location in a garage, having these folks all cross, these guests all cross at grade, would create significant impacts to the roadway network and would not present a very safe solution. So, as in everything we do, safety and guest security is a prime concern for us. So, additionally, on the vein also of pedestrian circulation, the project proposes to improve the remainder of the Edison right-of-way here at the corner of Disney Way and Harbor Boulevard. This is the area that is presently being used by queuing and stacking for entry into the garage. So it is just west of that location, and we propose to add additional landscaping and a pedestrian pathway here that would take guests along this edge of the project here to a connector at the garage and up into the gateway like you saw before. So the next slide is to take you into elevation. Now that we've gone through the three buckets of the project, the parking structure, the transportation hub, and the pedestrian connector, this is back to the parking garage to show it in elevation to give some idea of the architectural treatment of the facility. Consistent with the Friends garage, the team has paid special attention to adding architectural detailing, significant landscape, and this architectural treatment here to the garage to make it visually appealing and not a monolithic block sitting in the middle of nowhere. Next slide, please. Here's some perspectives. This perspective in the upper left corner is looking to the northeast as if you were floating above Disney Way. So you can see the queuing and stacking entering the garage here. I want to take a moment and talk real quick about this architectural treatment right here. This is a fabricated and painted metallic structure here that looks very similar to the paint color and the condition of it looks very similar to the Team Disney Anaheim building you see facing I-5. So it's intended to create some visual interest. It'll look nice at night when it's lit up and break up this giant monolithic structure. This is a view from a vehicle as you're entering the toll plaza and heading into the garage. And then down here is a view as you just come down the bank of escalators and you're now in the transportation hub plaza. So the next video here is a perspective floating above Disney Way, looking to the northeast. Next, we're going to have two videos that will go back